What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boston Clinic one time for the one time. Back talking that YTB shit. And basically Luis Ortiz, man, just dropped a fucking bomb. You know what I mean? And it's a crazy situation, you know, with him and Anthony Joshua. Basically, I'm gonna paraphrase what he said in both statements. Like I told you guys, you know, a lot of people, you know, forget that Luis Ortiz was the mandatory. But I'm going to show you the fuckery of these sanctioning bodies and the fuckery of Eddie Hearn and these promoters. That basically, they went to Luis Ortiz. It was supposed to be Luis Ortiz and Wladimir Klitschko, I guess, for a vacant WBA title. Wladimir Klitschko didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz. Punani, right? But it's understandably so. You can go make a whole bunch of millions fighting Anthony Joshua in a winnable fight. In a more winnable fight than fighting a dangerous Luis Ortiz who actually has boxing ability. You know, real natural boxing ability. No knock on Anthony Joshua there. Just been doing it longer. So Eddie Hearn The WBA came to Luis Ortiz, and they told him, they was like, if you could step aside, let this Klitschko thing happen, you know, whatever happens, you got the next shot. Rematch or no rematch clause, you get the next shot. That's what I'm taking it that he said. So right before the fight, the WBA said that, you know, the winner will get one voluntary defense before having to fight Luis Ortiz. You see this shit, dog? Him and his team agreed to let the Klitschko fight happen for the WBA title. Then right before the fight, they change it. They say they can get a voluntary defense, so Anthony Joshua doesn't have to fight a fight that people want to see. So he can go fight Puev. Somebody argued me on the page that say Puev is a pull. I don't give a fuck about Puev. I don't give a fuck about where you pull at in the motherfucking UK or England. I don't want to see Puev bum ass fight. I don't want to see it. He got knocked out by Klitschko. So how you gonna beat a guy who already just got beaten Klitschko, who just lost? Then you're gonna fight a guy that he already knocked out. How much sense does that make? And people are gonna justify because they like Anthony Joshua, because they don't want to see Luis Ortiz and Anthony Joshua fight because they know Luis Ortiz is a real threat. Luis Ortiz goes on to say, like, I've been struggling my whole life. I've been, you know, hunger pains as a kid, you know, living off bread and water. Had to cross over the Gulf just to get here, struggle to make it for my freedom. I come too far for me and my sick little girl to be stopped now. I won't stop now. And he's talking about taking legal action versus the WBA. And I hope he has some of that stuff in writing, because how can you just renege on an agreement, even if it's you a man of your word, or if it's in writing, and then change it right before the fight, say, oh, Joshua can go fight Puev, he can get a voluntary defense right before the Klitschko and Joshua fight. What kind of shit is that? Obviously, if Klitschko won, he wasn't going to fight Luis Ortiz either. Joshua won. He was a more chance to fight Luis Ortiz. He don't want to fight Luis Ortiz either. And he want to fight 2 times a year. Now, check this out. He's going to fight Puev in October, November, whatever the fuck it's going to be. Then he already reserved a date for next spring with Tyson Fury. You know, Luis Ortiz might not get a shot until next fall. And that's if, you know, Tyson Fury don't go all coked up winning the title from Joshua and don't string it on like he did with Klitschko and not give him a shot. Then he's going to be fighting somebody for a vacant title, you know. And it's a lot of bullshit in the game, and I feel bad for Luis Ortiz that they jerking him around like this, because popularity should not be in the equation for fighting for a world title. You know, he put all this hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. I know he got busted for PEDs, but he's on Vada or, you know, random drug testing. He didn't pay the pipe or whatever. You know what I mean? People was crying for Alexander Povetkin still to fight Wilder on PD, so I don't want to hear that. You know, when he got popped for PD, oh, that was just one time. It don't matter. A lot of people overlooked it. But now Anthony Joshua's emerged as some type of messiah in the boxing world, which is he definitely not. You know, everybody want to turn on Luis Ortiz when he was their most favorite heavyweight. Oh, he the most feared man in the boxing. Oh, he this, he that. And y'all turn around and y'all turn on this man when actually he got a family to feed. You know, he's the number one contender. And they made an agreement. Eddie Hearn and WBA, and I'm pretty sure Anthony Joshua was in on it, that they would fight him next. And he didn't even mention his name. He's scared shitless of him. What's the problem with fighting this man? Because Eddie Hearn is Luis Ortiz promoter. He signed with Eddie Hearn and he's still jerking around. And the same thing that Bob Arum do to those guys. And I'm going to go to another video about Bob Arum right after this. Same thing that Bob Arum does to these fucking guys. He had Manny Pacquiao dangle like a carrot. I can get you the Pacquiao fight. You can make $5 or $6 million with that Pacquiao fight. And sign with me on the dot, and I guarantee you a Pacquiao fight. No different what Eddie Hearn just did to Luis Ortiz. I get you a Joshua fight. He 38 years old. He only get my Joshua fight when he fucking 42, 43 years old. You know, ain't nobody gonna call Joshua a duck. They're gonna justify duckage, but you know they call Mayweather a duck. They call Cotto a duck, but they call Canelo a duck. But they want to put the pressure on this man. You know what I mean? Because they know UK fighters, when they step up, they get knocked the fuck out when they come to America, when they fight a Cuban or whatever. They have never, as far as I remember, been top number one pound for pound. Book it. We gone.